You may wonder how I grow rainbow trout all year long. In this video I will explain you exactly how I keep the trout alive during the whole year. The species of fish I have in the pond behind me, they are actually golden trout. Golden trout, they are the same type of fish as the rainbow trout. They just have been selected for the nice color. They are cold water fish, which means that they are adapted to grow in cold water and they will struggle in warm water. So I live in Australia, in Melbourne, and most of people, they grow those fish for 9 months of the year. You know, they keep them, they get them after summer, at the end of summer, when the temperature, the high temperature are past. So you know, in Melbourne area we have days above 30 degrees Celsius, and after summer those days are become rare. But in summer we have a lot of those days. We even have days around 40 degrees Celsius. So here, it's very hard to keep those fish alive in those temperatures. So most of people get the fish at the end of summer and they harvest them before the next summer. So they grow the fish for 9 months. 9 months is enough to grow a fish like trout to plate size. Now, if you want to grow the fish for several years and grow big fish, you will need to keep the fish alive during summer. So there are a few tricks to keep the fish, the trout, alive during summer. So here we are in a pond outside. The first trick is to have some shade on the pond. You don't want to have full sun on the pond and full sun on the grow beds, otherwise the water temperature is going to raise. So the first technique is to basically try to maintain the water temperature below 22 degrees Celsius. So shade is a good technique. Another technique is the height of the water pump. So this pond behind me, I digged it quite deep. So the deeper and the more inertia in terms of temperature you will have with the earth around. So if it's very deep, the earth around, the soil, is going to keep the water temperature cool during summer and warm during winter. So it's very beneficial to have a deep pond. In my case, my pond is 1.8 meters deep, which means that there is a very good insulation. It really helps. But now, if I have the water pump on the very bottom of the pond, the deep water is going to be raised to the grow bed and is going to warm up. So in summer, what we can do is to raise the water pump, not to leave it on the very bottom of the tank or of the pond, but to raise it a bit higher in order to basically have a water temperature that raise on the surface, but on the bottom we keep an area where the water is not renewed that much, and we're gonna keep a cold water temperature there. So the fish can swim on the surface, but if they feel less comfortable, they can go a bit deeper. So those two techniques, they don't consume any energy, they are quite simple to put in place. Unfortunately, when you add shade on top of your grow bed, you limit the growth of your plants. So there is a balance. You know, you can't win at all levels. If you want to grow cold water fish, obviously you are not going to maximize the growth of your vegetables during summer. Even with those two techniques, you may have the water temperature that raise above 20 degrees Celsius, and there you will be able to see the behavior of your fish changing. So if you see trouts, for instance, they are fish that are normally very active. They generally swim around the pond. If you see them still on an area, and trying to breathe on the surface or being near the cascade, you know, the waterfalls, that's sign that the fish is looking for oxygen and the water temperature is really high for the fish. So the first thing is when the water temperature is very high, you decrease the quantity of food you will feed your fish with. And another thing that you can do, and that is very important, is to add an air pump and an air stone into the pond. If you add aeration to the pond, the fish will be way more comfortable because basically you will increase the concentration of oxygen available into the water. So it will help the fish to survive during warm water temperature. It doesn't mean, it's not because you have an air pump that the fish is going to survive at any temperature. You know, if you raise the water temperature to 30 degrees, the fish are not going to survive. But if it raises above 22 degrees for just a few days, the fish will be able to handle it. Just don't feed the fish during those times and wait for the colder weather, colder temperature to come back. So that's the technique I use to keep my fish all year long. It's the first year that I have trout in this system here. So it's an experiment. I can never guarantee that I will be able to get them through the year. There is always a chance to lose them, but those techniques, the 3 points that I just highlighted, they are really going to help to keep the fish alive. Actually, I said 3 points, it's actually 4 points. The fourth point is to not feed the fish when the water temperature is high. If you put this in place in your aquaponics system, you will probably be able to keep the trouts all year long, which means that they will grow to a certain size. Now, you remember when I say if you want to produce the maximum quantity of fish in terms of fish biomass, you will probably harvest the fish when they are small, because that's when they are small that they grow the faster. When they get bigger, in terms of percentage of their body, they grow a bit slower. So if you have 10 kilo of fish, you will produce more fish if they are 10 kilo of small fish than if they are 10 kilo of big fish. So I hope this video is helpful. Leave me your comments if you have any question or if you want to add something to the video. You are really welcome. I'm really happy to talk to you in this comment section. That's an area where we can really exchange ideas and point of view. And I see you in the next video. For now, if you haven't done it yet, you can have access to a free aquaponics training from the description of the video or into the corner of the video somewhere. You will find a little eye and you can click on it and get access to this free aquaponics training. Otherwise, just go on my website, Aquaponics Revolution, and there you will find the free aquaponics training as well. I see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.